Verstappen managed to finish 81%. Highest percentage when in 2002.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. Teammates sitting in pole, they're in pole position. Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
It's almost a given that the drivers on the grid today were kart racing as children, so they could enter the sport with as much experience as possible. It hasn't always been like that though. In the 1950s, the average age of the drivers was 39, with 3 over the age of 50. The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which were won by Lewis Hamilton. 2022, the FIA announced that the cars would now be rolling on 18-inch wheels, far larger than 13-inch wheels used prior. These larger tyres were designed to reduce overheating, improve grip,
So our fastest lap is a 1:28.6.
throughout the decades is in part due to the high revving engines used. F1 engines during the V8 era and the mid-2000s, for example, could reach 19,000 RPM. In comparison, a typical road car won't exceed around 6,000 RPM.
Going down.
British constructor Arrows never won a race after 383 attempts. The highest
Okay, we're 20th in the speed trap, 330.7 kilometers per hour.
1980, 81, 85, 1997. If you don't know, the tubular safety device that sits over the driver's head, aptly named the Halo, is constructed out of titanium and adds roughly 9 kilograms to the car's total weight.
The track's pretty quiet at the moment. Perhaps we should get out there, get a few laps in.
No one with the surname Hill has ever failed in winning a world title. For example, Graham Hill, Damon Hill and Phil Hill are all previous world championship winners. The Nürburgring is the only F1 track to have hosted 3 different races: the German Grand Prix, European Grand Prix and Luxembourg Grand Prix. The inaugural World Drivers' Championship was held in 1950 during the 4th season of F1. Giuseppe Farina,
If you need to find some more time, remember that corner exit is more important than corner entry. Slow in, fast out and smooth on the power.
3 victories but lost out points after having retired from the other 3 races he entered. Hello to everyone here and welcome, and a special shout out to our VIP guests, Lars Hammer and Arthur Jackman, affectionately known as the Jackhammer. The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which were won by Lewis Hamilton. Packed grandstands here today with thousands in attendance, hoping to see their favourite drivers battle it out on track. British constructor Arrows never won a race after 383 attempts, the highest of any team in Formula One history. They came close 5 times in 1978, 1980, 81, 85 and 1997. 2014 ushered in a new set of regulations that saw us enter the turbo hybrid era of F1 car development. The biggest change being the engines, which were changed from 2.4 litre V8 engines to 1.6 litre turbocharged V6 power units. Along with this came integrated complex digital systems such as ERS. Ferrari are the only team to have raced in every single season in Formula One. If you don't know, the tubular safety device that sits over the driver's head, aptly named the Halo, is constructed out of titanium and adds roughly 9 kilograms to the car's total weight. Present since the very start of the sport, Ferrari takes the #1 spot for almost all.
The car settings screen on your multifunction display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button and you can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
Blisteringly fast pit stops, some even approaching the sub-2-second mark. But what about the longest? Well, that would go to Valtteri Bottas, who had to retire after a seized wheel nut forced him to retire in the 2021 Monaco GP. The seized nut was removed 43 hours later, which officially makes it longest pit stop turnaround in history.
One more, no more.
F1's distinctive sound throughout the decades is in part due to the high revving engines used. F1 engines during the V8 era and the mid-2000s, for example, could reach 19,000 RPM. In comparison, a typical road car won't exceed around 6,000 RPM. Packed grandstands here today with thousands in attendance, hoping to see their favourite drivers battle it out on track. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time elapsed before picking up a penalty. He was caught speeding in the pit lane in practice for the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix, almost immediately after he exited the garage, just 9 seconds into his F1 career. Let's hope we see a good effort from McLaren here today. In recent times they've fallen to somewhat of a midfield team. The last time the constructor won a World Championship was in 1998. The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which were won by Lewis Hamilton. One of the longest broadcasted races was also one of the shortest. The 2021 Belgian Grand Prix lasted over...
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 28.6.
...conditions on lap 3. I'm not superstitious, but in the long and fruitful history of F1, no one with the surname Hill has ever failed in winning a world title. For example, Graham Hill, Damon Hill and Phil Hill are all previous World Championship winners. Present since the very start of sport.
Okay, we're 20th in the speed trap, 330.7 kilometers per hour.
World Championships won, most Grand Prix wins, most pole positions, and most race entries. British constructor Arrows never won a race after 383 attempts, the highest of any team in Formula One history. They came close 5 times in 1978, 1980, 81, 85 and 1997. F1's distinctive sound throughout the decades is in part due to the high revving engines in use. F1 engines during the V8 era in the mid-2000s, for example, could reach 19,000 RPM. In comparison, a typical road car won't exceed around 6,000 RPM. 2019 Chinese GP was F1's 1,000th official championship race. If we continue with around 20 to 24 races a year, we can expect the 2,000th GP to happen around the year 2064. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time elapsed before picking up a penalty. He was caught speeding in the pit lane in practice for the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix, almost immediately after he exited the garage, just 9 seconds into his F1 career. One of the longest broadcasted races was also one of the shortest. The 2021 Belgian Grand Prix lasted only 3 minutes and 27 seconds, the race being flagged due to wet weather conditions, lap 3. The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which was won by Lewis Hamilton. For 2022, the FIA announced that the cars would now be rolling on 18-inch wheels, far larger than 13-inch wheels used prior. These larger tyres were designed to reduce overheating, improve grip, and provide more aggressive racing. I'm not superstitious, but in the long and fruitful history of F1, no one with the surname Hill has ever failed in winning a world title. For example, Graham Hill, Damon Hill and Phil Hill are all previous World Championship winners. Present since the very start of the sport, Ferrari takes the #1 spot for almost all constructor records in F1. It's the team with the most World Championships won, most Grand Prix wins, most pole positions and most race entries. 2019 Chinese GP was F1's 1,000th official championship race. If we continue with around 20 to 24 races a year, we can expect the 2,000th GP to happen around the year 2064. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time elapsed before picking up a penalty. He was caught speeding in the pit lane in practice for the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix, almost immediately after he exited the garage, just 9 seconds into his F1 career. The record for the most cars in an F1 race was achieved at the 1953 German Grand Prix with 34 cars. The race with the fewest entries saw only 6 cars line up on the grid. This This was the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix, which saw 14 cars pulled out of the race due to tyre safety concerns. Hello to everyone here and welcome, and a special shout out to our VIP guests,